mix of divisions represented here between middle school, high school. Any lower school parents here right now? Great. Lower school parents. Wonderful. Well, I'd like to introduce Dr. Michelle Druin. Dr. Druin works at ICFW currently. I was first introduced to her through her work on, I think it was on Insight. I saw the interview, and then we had her on Skype with our high school students at Chapel. We pulled Dr. Druin into a meeting with Ted Rice and myself in the middle school, working through some social media issues and policy and law, and what can we do, what can't we do. And I think we immediately clicked and hit it off and said, this is a relationship we got to keep, we got to maintain and use her expertise. So without further ado, I'll let her tell you more about herself, and we'll jump right into this half hour. It's a whirlwind, but there's great nuggets we spent with our kids. I think they were, A, a great audience, and B, they really, I think, were enlightened some things that they didn't know themselves, and I think they knew everything. So enjoy. Dr. Druin.
Thank you. Yeah, so I did just meet with some of your kids. How many of you do have children who are in the middle school? Oh, okay, most of you. So they were fantastic, and I can't wait to tell you what some of them said. But first, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I am a developmental psychologist. I did my undergrad at Cornell, and then I went to Oxford for graduate school, where I studied experimental psychology with a focus in developmental. And originally, I was looking at children's early literacy development, and now my expertise is in sexting. So I've drifted quite far from my original, focus, but this is the beauty of psychology, and actually I really love the work that I'm doing now, and it has a lot of practical significance, as you will see. So as I said, my expertise is in sexting, but I do all types of analyses about the use of social media and computer-mediated communication in relationships. And I want to start today by telling you that when I asked the middle school students, how many of you know more about social media than your parents, at least 2/3 of them raised their hands. How many people think that that's true? Your child knows more about social media? Okay. And so many of you are probably here saying, tell me the answer, what do I do? How can I keep on top of this issue? How many people heard of the Colorado sexting scandal? Hundreds of kids had a calculator app. Hundreds of kids were found that they had sexting images on their phone. Okay. That's definitely something to think about. We're going to talk about that application a little bit longer. How many people have heard of the case in Virginia where a young girl got killed by an 18-year-old boy and his friend? She found him on Kik. Okay, you guys are here for the right reasons. I'm sure you're concerned. And the way I'm going to start this talk is to show you a picture of the car I want and a picture of the phone that many of your kids have. So I think that you would probably all agree that you would not hand your children the keys to a car without training, right? They have to go through driver's ed. You have to drive with them. Even if they went through driver's ed, I'm pretty sure you would want to drive with them to make sure that you believe they are good drivers. And you wouldn't give them those keys without rules. How many people have currently rules about the use of the car if your children drive? You have rules about it. Okay, excellent. You do this because a car is a dangerous machine. They could kill themselves. They could kill other people. A lot of the rules that you have probably relate to using the phone while they're driving. You're texting. How many people have, you cannot text while you drive? Good, that's a good rule. But just like the car has deaths associated with it, so does the cell phone. There are people who have died texting and driving, so that's a cell phone rule that might be applicable to everyone. But there are also people who have died because they've been subjected to cyberbullying, so much so that it's had made them commit suicide. So the phone can be very dangerous. And I'm talking on the side of the receiver. You don't want your child to be the one that's cyberbullied, but neither do you want your child to be the one who causes someone else to take their lives. So I think there are a couple of different perspectives that you need to think about here, even if you don't see your child as ever being the victim of that kind of bullying. So this is going to be a pervasive theme throughout this entire presentation. The idea is you should not give your children cell phones where they have access to all types of potential harms. They have access to child predators. They have access to bullies. They have access to everyone in the world. You should not give your child this machine, this really dangerous machine, without first having a conversation about it, about appropriate use, about the rules. How many people how many people your children have a cell phone? Your children have a cell phone. Okay, I know most of you are middle school or above. And then how many of you did have a lengthy conversation about the rules of use of the cell phone? Good. What did some of these rules include? I would like to just know for my own. Anyone want to tell me? Yeah, what are some of your rules?
No texting after 9 o'clock.
Okay, that's good. So how do you enforce that rule?
First one is trust, and then I can monitor through the AT&T app if she has not followed the rules. And then after one warning, I take over.
Okay. You can monitor texting, some of the texting through the AT&T app, but there's also some kind of texting that you can't monitor, so there is going to have to be a big trust thing. Okay, this is a good rule. No texting after 9 o'clock. Anyone else have a rule? What's your rule?
It has to be plugged in the kitchen unless he's taking it.
Okay, plugged in the kitchen unless he's taking it, just good, so he can only use it in the kitchen.
Unless he asks me, obviously.
So you're always around when he's using his phone, basically. And how old is your son? 14. How old is?
She's 16 now, but that was like when she was 14.
When she was 14. Okay, you have a rule? Okay, don't answer the number if you don't know who it is. That's great. Or respond to a text, and we'll talk about anonymity in a second. Anyone else have a rule that I haven't mentioned yet?
I get to take your phone and inspect every bit of it anytime I want.
Okay, and do they, how old is your child?
13?
And are they pretty good about that?
Doesn't really have a choice, does she?
Yeah, let's wait until she's like 17 and see how that goes. Okay, what else? Yeah?
I also have that rule, and I love it, but I also have no apps without my approval.
Okay, so does anyone have like a family sharing thing where you get to see the apps that your children download? I don't know if you know this is a feature, but if you put your child on family sharing, you can say, it can be quite benevolent in its presentation. You can say, hey, anything you want to purchase, I'll buy it for you. But then you can set up the family sharing so that anything they purchase or add, you see what they've added. Just do a little Google search. I won't go through it now. I don't have time. But you can easily do this family sharing. Anything else? Yes?
Well, we had quite a conversation about pictures and what were appropriate and
Appropriate,
not appropriate.
not appropriate pictures.
And I think those go away.
And they never go away. This is excellent. And we're going to be touching upon this too. Anything else major? Yes?
She's only allowed to accept friends on Skype, which are real friends she knows.
Excellent rule. Is it only on Skype or any?
Well, in fact, she doesn't have a device. She just uses Skype for her conversation with her French friends.
Okay.
So.
Excellent. She cannot accept, she doesn't use much social media, but when she does, she can only accept requests.
Sometimes we receive some emails like, who's that? We don't know, so erase.
Yes, okay. These are all excellent rules. And actually, me asking you these is a great intro to what I will now talk about.